Hey, I'm back and this is Psychedelic Actualization. On this channel we talk about topics like self-realization, self-actualization and working with psychedelics to live a more authentic and fulfilling life. Today I want to talk about kindness and the virtue of kindness because I've been aware of this topic in the last few years of my life and the impact of integrating kindness and actually doing good in every situation in your life, from your heart, acting selflessly, in service. It's a really big topic. And I think it's a really important topic that can help us, help humanity get to a more loving and aware and self-actualized and self-realized life. By the way, if you're interested in any of those topics of self-actualization, and realizing your potential with the help of psychedelics, you can check out the channel, subscribe, check out the website psychedelicactualization.com or follow me on Instagram. So, one question that I would like to ask in the beginning of this video is it because of psychedelics? Do psychedelics make you a more kind and loving person? And what about the psychedelic experience makes you more kind or loving? Because I think, from my observations, psychedelics do not make you a better person. I have improved myself and came to a place of more compassion because of this work, but I think psychedelics only are not gonna do it. It's a trait that has to be cultivated through an understanding and through a practice, maybe a spiritual practice and a practice of self-development. But I would say for myself, those psychedelic experiences and the integration of those insights have made me a more loving and kind person, because it were humbling experiences, and through those humbling experiences I got more in touch with myself, with my own appreciation of life. It made me aware of death and of beauty, and through this awareness came a deep fulfillment and a deep humbleness in myself that I kind of integrated, which made me aware of the impact of kindness on other humans, and it made me aware, or it awoke in me a sense of compassion and empathy for myself. But I know that this is not the case for other people. I know a lot of psychedelic people who are not as kind, who are just maybe even not kind at all. So it's not a trait of the psychedelic itself, but of yourself. It is on you. And now I want to talk about the virtue of kindness and the power of that and how it played out in my life. So I want to take you through an exercise. Like, imagine every moment could be your last moment, and every moment could be the last moment of any human you're interacting with. So life, we take it so much, we take life for granted, right? And I slip out of that awareness of the impermanence of life again and again and again. But if you think about it, you can die right now. Like, you can go out and a car hits you and it's done. And the same goes for everybody else. And to keep that awareness present, it made me think, it's like, do I want to end a conversation in a way, or end an interaction with any human in a way where they feel bad about themselves and the world, and I feel bad about myself and the world, just because we had a short argument or because we disagree or whatever? It's like this negative, leaving this plane with this negative sense of perception and this negative experience. Thinking about that makes me really, really sad. And it made me aware of, like, okay, my mother could be dying today, and I don't want to end any interaction with her on the wrong foot. So I try to be as loving and compassionate, as kind as possible. Also, the golden rule, right, from the Bible. It's in everything. Do to others what you would have them do to you. as I said, if you're not a kind person, if you haven't been cultivating that trait of kindness into your life, of course that golden rule applies, and it could play out really badly, and we have differences. So it's not a set and a given, right? Because maybe some other people want to be treated differently than you would like to be treated. But in general, I think if you cultivate that trait of kindness and that virtue, and you actually live that, and you want to be kind to everybody. I mean, don't expect to everybody to be kind to you, but treat them as you would like to be treated. I think it's a good rule, a good thing to stand by. And just what I've observed in my life is the impact of cultivating kindness and living kindness and helping people grow selflessly without any expectation of receiving anything back makes an impact. For example, when I was traveling around, and sometimes I just go do ceremony for free, or I just give and serve and help people with whatever problems arise in the situation, right? You see somebody having a hard time and you try to offer your help, right? And for you, maybe it's not that big of a thing. Sometimes for me, it was just like, yeah, whatever. It's like, for sure, thank you very much, have a nice day. And sometimes I spent more time with those people and we developed kind of a friendship, and then our ways separated, and it's okay. It's just like the way it is. But I've noticed this, the impact of this trait when I received messages, sometimes after a few weeks or months, and I have not even thought about that person anymore. It's just like not in my life anymore or whatever. And it's gone. But for them, they kind of started thinking of me for whatever reason. And I received a message of, wow, Virgo, you're so kind. Thank you for everything you did. I really enjoyed our time together, and it impacted my life in a very impactful way. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. This is truly great. I have not even thought about that person for a few months, but through some simple, kind actions that I did, or through the way I carried myself and lived my life, I impacted that person's life in a meaningful way. And that is beautiful. Sometimes you don't even notice how impactful your actions are. I've heard stories of people, sometimes it's just a kind hello, smile and hello, and or thank you for being here, or thank you for doing like these kinds little things of going to the grocery store, helping somebody grab something or whatever. It's like these kinds of actions do have an impact. And I notice it as well. It's like sometimes it's the other way around. Some people were really kind and loving and serving me in a way that was just absolutely meaningful and impactful for my life. And they moved on, I moved on. But now sometimes I think about them, I'm like, wow, this person has helped me so much in my growth and in my journey. I want to thank them. So I sent them a message and thank them for everything they've done to me. And maybe it's like they haven't even thought about me for a couple of years, whatever. And I encourage you to reflect upon that point and send messages out to people who have helped you in your life, and send them this note of gratitude. And because that is really fulfilling, changing people's lives and noticing the change that people have in you is really, really fulfilling. It's a big part of that fulfillment for yourself. And I think another point is also important, is don't push that kindness out into the world. Don't shout it out, because the point and the definition of selfless service is that you don't have an agenda behind it. You don't even think about it anymore. You don't present yourself or label yourself as a kind person, because it's not anybody's business but yourselves, right? So you act from a kindness that is deep rooted in your heart, because you actually authentically want to act kind. It's a matter of the heart, and you do it from a place of selflessness, and nobody needs to know about it, right? I think that is an important part of doing good in every situation. You don't feed your ego by it, but you just cultivate it as a trait of selflessness as well, and as a practice of selflessness as well. At least that's what helped me. And also, if you're not kind, if you have some arguments or discussions, or it's happening, of course it's happening. Nobody can be kind in every situation. Sometimes we get triggered. We're just all human beings. Forgive yourself and forgive other people. The act and the practice of forgiveness is a big part of continuing to cultivating that trait of kindness for myself. And also, one last point that I want to get to is set boundaries. And this setting of boundaries, or sometimes expressing your opinion, can be a little bit difficult to do in a kind way, because we get triggered, we get defensive, and then we try to push against everybody's opinion or whatever. Like, set boundaries and express your opinions, and sometimes even you can even maybe guide some people or lead some people or teach some people in a way of tough love, right? Sometimes that is an act of kindness, but do it, set the boundaries in a kind way. You don't have to offend anybody personally when you are setting boundaries. You can be aware of your words and be aware of your communication and formulate things in a way that is not attacking somebody personally or harming somebody personally. For example, it's just like these simple rules of communication. If you haven't read books about it, start reading books about it. It's like, I feel this way, this activity or this thing makes me feel that way, so I would like to change this and that. That is a way of communicating and setting a boundary in a kind way, right? Don't make it a fake kindness. Like, it does have to be aligned with yourself and with your authenticity. Do not be a doormat. Like, do not think you want to be kind and that's why you just help everybody you see, even though you don't feel like it, because that would make you feel bad about yourself. And maybe some people even take advantage of that and use you for their egoistic desires. So that kindness that is coming out of your heart and out of a place of selflessness, it doesn't have to be a fake kindness. It should be a kindness that you feel in yourself should be expressed in that situation. But yeah, practicing that and making yourself aware of that is, I think, a beautiful practice, one of the most beautiful practices and most important practices that you can cultivate into yourself and express into the world. I think there's almost nothing more important than being kind. And that's what I hear from many masters and teachers and gurujis and shamans. Many people come to the same conclusion, that being kind is the way, and it's one of the most important things we can do to make this shared experience of humanity a little bit more beautiful for everybody. Even though we could talk about the metaphysical, philosophical concepts of solipsism and all that kind of stuff, but even then, if it's all one, if it's all yourself, you want to be kind to yourself, right? If there is no other, then everything you do is something you do to yourself, right? And you want to be kind to yourself. It just makes sense, right? So that is it. That is my kind of little take on kindness, of cultivating kindness and the experience in my life, what I have experienced kindness can do, and some practices of how to actually do it and cultivate that awareness into your being. I hope you enjoyed it, or you can take some value out of this video. If you want to check out more of my stuff, check out this channel, subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Instagram, Psychedelic Actualization, or you can check out my website, psychedelicactualization.com. We're talking about self-realization, self-actualization, and working with psychedelics to live a more authentic and fulfilling life. I wish you all a beautiful day from the heart of my being. And I hope you're having fun and you are enjoying this beautiful experience of being human here on this beautiful earth. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.